Hi, I want to talk to you about something called Tyson's Law. Many of you will not heard of it, but it's something that we as a group are setting up. It's about breed-specific legislation. In the UK, many dogs are seized as pit bull types. For the majority of the time, this goes well. The officers arrive at the home, they take the dogs and they take them away to the police kennels to be seized, to be held. For one dog, things didn't go too well, and that's a dog called Tyson, hence why we called it Tyson's Law. On the 17th of May 2017, police visited the property in Birmingham where Tyson lived. They had a warrant and they entered the property. Tyson was not an aggressive dog, but he did bark at strangers. He would bark and bark until he got used to them. The police officers at the time thought it would be a good idea to spray him with what is known as bite back. This made no difference to Tyson at all. He continued to bark at them. They decided to leave the property, go to the van and come back with a larger can of bite back spray, which is about the size of a car fire extinguisher, and an electronic control shield. When they re-entered the property, Tyson was continuing to bark at them. They used the canister of bite back on him, the full canister, and Tyson was moving around and bumped into them. The officer then pressed the button on the electric control shield. Now, what is not known to a lot of people is that canisters like bite back, the contents inside are propelled by butane gas. The spark from the electronic control shield reacted with the butane gas and it set fire to Tyson. It set him on fire on his left ear, his left shoulder and his left leg. The officers went into a panic, dropped their equipment. One officer ran to the kitchen sink. Luckily there was a bowl of water still in the sink. He threw that over Tyson, but it wasn't enough to extinguish the flames. The second officer grabbed the pan and filled it with water and threw that over Tyson. This did extinguish the flames. Whilst Tyson was in a state of shock, the officers were able to get Tyson on a catch pole and put him into a police vehicle. They rushed off and they went to a vet. They asked the vet to come out and have a look at him. The vet couldn't get near Tyson because at this time Tyson was really hysterical and growling, not just barking. The vet gave the ointment for the burns to the officers so he could be treated at police kennels. They took him back to police kennels where he was placed in his own little cell, but sadly he was never treated for the burns. His mum went to court to apply to get Tyson added to what is known as the exemption scheme. She went without legal representative, and sadly Tyson was given a destruction order. She then come across our group and she asked us for help, and we did. We helped raise legal fees and an independent behaviour assessment for an expert to go and look at Tyson. By the time it got to Crown Court, it was in November 2018. The full story unfolded in the courtroom of what had happened to Tyson. The police were asked many questions. They accepted that setting Tyson on fire was their fault, albeit an accident. The officer had said he had been taught how to use an electronic control shield, but they had never been given any training in bite back. The question was asked, should the two pieces of equipment ever be used together? The officer said they had never been told not to, or was not aware that they shouldn't. However, in the police manual it clearly states that an electric control shield and bite back spray should never be used together. On that day, the courts decided they were not willing to let Tyson go home, and again gave a destruction order. We left the courtroom, his family very upset, as you can imagine, knowing that they would never see their boy again, and that the last time they saw them was on the day he was seized. His mum had seen him as she left for work, and that is her last memory of him. For the 17-year-old daughter, her last memory of their beloved family pet was seeing him on fire in their kitchen and not being able to do anything. It took about 6 weeks before Tyson's ashes were returned to the family after he'd been euthanised, and to this day the family have never been told exactly what day Tyson was euthanised on. So our group is called Rocky's Army, fighting BSL and DDA, and on there are many other dogs, like Tyson, who were seized just purely on looks. We ask that people come and join us to help us fight for them dogs, and also to visit Tyson's own page. He has a website which is called www.tysonslaw.com. On the website is the story in full from start to end. There is also a link to a petition on change.org where we are calling for better welfare standards of seized dogs and better police training. What we want is for the government to acknowledge that all dogs that are seized and held in kennels are looked after, their welfare is put first. Any injuries are treated, any illnesses are dealt with by a vet, and we also ask for better police training so that officers in future who are issued equipment know exactly what they are using, and to know exactly when two pieces of equipment should not be used together. You can also look at us up on Facebook. We are Rocky's Army fighting BSL and DDA. Come and join us, help support us, and help support all these other lovely dogs that need your support. Thank you for listening.